Your brain can time travel, and you do it every single day. Neuroscientists have discovered something wild. Your mind can jump back into the past and leap forward into the future, without you even noticing. It happens in a tiny brain network called the default mode network, the system that activates when you're not focused. That's when your mind starts traveling. When you replay old memories, your brain literally rebuilds the moment, as if you're there again. And when you imagine the future, your brain uses the same circuits to simulate events that haven't happened yet. To your brain, past and future are just different versions of the same illusion. If your brain can jump through time this easily, how do you know which moment you're truly living in right now? If you fell into a black hole, you wouldn't die fast. You'd die stretching. Astrophysicists call it spaghettification, the most painful death the universe can offer. The gravity near a black hole is so uneven. Your feet are pulled thousands of times harder than your head. Your body begins to stretch, longer and longer, until your atoms peel apart like threads of cosmic pasta. And once you cross the event horizon, not even light can follow you. You fall endlessly, in a place where time loses meaning. So tell me, if black holes can erase time itself, what does existence even mean? What if I told you there's a place on Earth where a day can last months? Far above the Arctic Circle, the sun plays by different rules, and time itself starts to feel unreal. In places like Svalbard and northern Alaska, the sun rises in spring and simply never sets. Not for hours, not for days, but for months, the sky glows in an endless daytime. A world where night just disappears. And when winter arrives, the opposite returns. A single night stretches on for weeks, swallowing the world in darkness. If one place can bend day and night this easily, how much of time is real? And how much is just our perspective? Your hand has never touched anything. Ever. Not a wall, not your phone, not even another human. And no, this isn't sci-fi. This is quantum physics messing with your reality. Every atom in your hand is surrounded by an invisible electric force field, and so is every atom in the world around you. When you touch something, those fields push against each other, but the atoms never actually meet. Your entire life is built on a cosmic illusion, a universe where touch is just repulsion disguised as contact. So, if your hand never truly touches reality, have you ever touched anything? Or are you just feeling the space between worlds? Carrots were never meant to be orange. For thousands of years, carrots came in purple, yellow, white, even red. So where did orange carrots come from? Not nature, politics. In the 1600s, Dutch farmers selectively bred carrots to be orange, to honor the House of Orange, a symbol of Dutch identity. Those carrots spread across Europe and slowly rewrote what the world thought a real carrot looked like. If history can change the color of a vegetable, what else do you see today that was shaped the same way? If history can change the color of a vegetable, what else do you see today that was shaped the same way? For most of human history, unexpected sounds meant danger. Your brain still treats a sudden phone call like a tiny threat. Texts feel safer because they give you control. Time to think, edit, and avoid awkward reactions. Psychologists call this social energy management. Calls demand instant attention. Messages don't. Add years of spam calls and social pressure, and your brain learns one rule: avoid answering. So if we're wired to dodge real-time voices, what does that say about how we want to connect now? Sharks existed before trees. Let that sink in. But trees? They didn't appear until tens of millions of years later. Sharks existed before trees. Let that sink in. While forests didn't exist yet, sharks were already evolving, surviving mass extinctions that wiped out most life on Earth. They lived before dinosaurs, before birds, before almost everything you recognize today. If something can outlive nearly all of life on Earth, what does that say about how small our place in time really is? The U.S. almost went to war over a single elephant. In 1902, the U.S. was helping to build the Panama Canal, then controlled by Colombia. A traveling circus elephant named Jumbo mysteriously died near the construction zone. The local police blamed an American soldier. Tensions escalated so fast, both sides called for military force. Diplomacy barely stopped a potential international crisis over a circus elephant. Historians call it the elephant crisis. Was this absurd moment a distraction from a much bigger plot? Zombies are real, and they are controlled by a fungus. Meet Ophiocordyceps, the parasite that hacks an ant's brain, turning it into a mindless puppet. The fungus takes control of the ant's muscles, forcing it to abandon the colony and climb a perfect high leaf or branch. Once there, the fungus kills the ant, anchors it in place, and sprouts a stalk from its head to rain spores down onto new, unsuspecting victims. It bypasses the brain, controlling the whole body. How much of your own action is truly your own? Finding money on the ground? You won't pick it up if others are watching. The moment you see that crisp $20 bill, your brain freezes. Why? It's not about the money. It's pure social scrutiny. You instantly fear being perceived as desperate, greedy, or worst of all, taking someone else's lost property. You'd rather leave $20 on the ground than risk a split second of negative social judgment from strangers. It reveals the immense power of invisible social rules. How much money are you willing to sacrifice for social peace?
0.999 ... is not almost 1. It is 1 exactly. Your brain hates that sentence, but math doesn't care how you feel. Here's the proof. Simple and unavoidable. 1 divided by 3 equals 0.333 ... right? Now multiply both sides by 3. 3 times 1/3 is 1, and 3 times 0.333 equals 0.999. Same math, same value, no gap, no trick. So if numbers can be perfectly equal while looking different, what else do we believe is almost true just because it feels that way? Every time you use toilet paper, a tree disappears. It sounds dramatic. But globally, millions of trees are cut down every year just so we can wipe once. In fact, estimates suggest tens of thousands of trees every single day go into toilet paper production alone. That means forests turned into paper that's used for seconds and flushed forever. Add the water, energy, and chemicals needed to make it, and one daily habit leaves a massive footprint. So if something we barely think about costs entire forest, what other normal habits are quietly reshaping the planet? The ancient Olympics were not noble. They were brutal. Forget fair play and gold medals. Ancient Greek athletes competed naked, under scorching heat, in front of roaring crowds. There were no weight classes, no time limits, and in some events, death wasn't uncommon. Boxing and pankration allowed brutal strikes, broken bones, and fights only ended when someone quit or collapsed. The prize wasn't money. It was eternal fame, divine honor, and rituals for the gods. Your body pushed to the edge for glory. If the past was this violent and raw, how much of history have we polished to make ourselves feel better?